Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Aries Edge. We are doing an impromptu. What is this, Monday? I don't even know what day it is anymore. An impromptu Monday dishing up clicks. As always, thank you to friend of the show, an artist here from Connecticut that is N.M.E the Illest with his hit single "Let the Good Times Roll," Beats by Apathy, who is from Army of the Pharaohs, Demigods, you know him. He's around. So thank you to N.M.E the Illest for letting me use that track. As you can see, I haven't shaved my head in quite some time. I look like I'm homeless. So that's what we're going with. We're going with Homeless Chic for this episode. On top of that, also thank you always to Critical Hit Customs for being a sponsor of the show, and thank you to our executive producer, Aaron Lloyd, as always. If you wanted to figure out how or want to know how Aaron Lloyd is a executive producer, you can go ahead and message me, or you can go ahead and check out our Patreon that I have not actually technically fired off yet, but is still kind of kicking around out there. So go ahead and check that out as well. So, we are live. We are going to be covering a few things here. I did get a pretty sweet package in from Stan Dup. He does custom dice amongst the community. I'm going to look up his actual name right now. Stan Stralkowski. I probably butchered it. At most know him as Stand Up. He does a lot of the custom dice that people are ordering and using and so on and so forth. I posted up something not too long ago about, hey, I lost a bunch of stuff in a house fire looking for XYZ. And he was the first one to jump into a conversation with me and was like, hey, I found a whole box of extra stuff. Let me know what you're looking for. And I was basically like, well, I don't, this and that and the other thing. And he's like, don't you worry about it. I'll send you a care package. Well, care package is in. We're going to break down some of it. It is some good stuff. A lot of things that I actually had many years ago. And then he threw in a couple of Lucy dice. So we're going to go ahead and we'll show those bad boys off too. But first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and we're going to break down. We're going to show some of these. So, for all you newer players that aren't aware, back in the day when you would order an entire case of Clix, well, one, they did the buy by the brick program where you were able to send away like your UPC codes and proof of purchase, and they would send you like a cool figure that you could only get. Executive producers here. What's going on, Aaron Lloyd? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you tuning in. So you would also, on top of that, you would get a cool poster, and what those posters were basically just set posters of what would be in the set. It was basically how you would kind of use like a checklist. So you would get stuff like this, which is the Fantastic Forces checklist. And again, this is one of those ones too. This was one of the last sets where, as you can see, you had the Fantastic Four very prominent. Now that Mr. Fantastic figure right there broke in half too. He came in two pieces. So I had a whole bunch of these. I had, I guess you would see a lot of them. What's going on, Kenny Pena? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Wizkids' own Kenny Pena. Again, if you guys have anything to add to the conversation, by all means, jump in. We'll have a conversation. We will have some fun tonight. So, again, we had Fantastic Forces. This was a hot set, too, when it first came out. Let me make sure it's not upside down. This is Armor Wars. So, what the hot pieces were these guys right here. You had War Machine. He was a hard to find figure. You had Titanium Man, he was a hard to find figure. That Iron Man was tough. So we got those. Also, back in the day, when like we have chases now and super rares and things like that. So back in the day, the hard to find figures or the chases, super rares, kind of were the uniques. Now we know uniques as being okay. You can only play one of those on a team, and it's the same concept, except the uniques back in the day were basically kind of like your super rares. They were the ones that you wanted to get because their dials were awesome. Now, what else have we got in here? We've got... I'll skip that one. It's Monsters and Mutations. I'm trying to find... Oh, this was a great... Now, this was my first time when I went to... when I actually went to... what the hell is it called? Not PAX. What was it called back in the day? Wizard World. I went to Wizard World Philadelphia. This set hadn't come out yet, but they did a special thing on Sunday where you were able to buy like 2 boosters of it. So that was cool. Now, on this one, it's very interesting as well. And it's cool too because it also says like sculpted by James Carter. So the Black Bolt in this set was sculpted by James Carter. The Spider-Man, as we would call him, it was Stripper Pole Spidey. It was the New Guy Night one. It was sculpted by Steve Saunders. And then you had the Venom, which was the Buy It by the Brick figure, which was sculpted by Brian Dugas. So this was the Sinister set. And this was a really awesome set. Let me zoom in on those for you so you can really see if I can do it correctly. There you go. Like how cool those figures were. I'm on the wrong. So, but then on top of that, you would get like these really intricate, you know, you would get these cool maps, these cool like checklist posters, which I know it's a long shot, Kenny, but this is something I would assume that players would love to get back. Now I'm looking for one very specific. What else did? I mean, this is a never-ending. This is Indie Clix for those that. Oh goodness gracious! Let's see if it actually has it on here. It doesn't. It does. It has the Judge Death on here. So this is the Indie Clix set. I'm not sure what else we got here. This is right here is the one I'm looking for. This is the set that I played back with Mage Knight when I first got real serious into playing. This was the set that I went in hard on. And it's the Heroclix Legacy set. Now, shout out to Steve Saunders, Brian Dugas, Jeff Grace, Dave Summers, because they did some phenomenal work. So in this set, not only did you get like figures like Hush and Oracle, but you got Prometheus, General Zod, Ultraman. You got Ares in this set. You got a really cool Sinestro in this set. You got Obsidian. You got Kingdom Come Green Lantern, Kingdom Come Flash, Kingdom Come Red Robin, Kingdom Come Hawkman. Like this set was stacked. So let me just get you some of the artwork and some of what these figures look like. So again, you know what I mean? And then they also had the one big old guy, Steel. So that right there was the one that I mean, what else did Stan send me? We've got Icons, which was the set that ruined Hypersonic Speed with Icon Soups. Now I'll take pictures of all of these and I'll post them up on the Dishing Up Clix page, so everybody can go ahead and see it. What is this one? This is another DC set. This is Unleashed, which was a good set. What was the hot figures in that set? We had Kingdom Come Wonder Woman was in that one. Kingdom Come Batman, Kingdom Come Supes, Kingdom Come Magog, the Kingdom Come Bat Sentry, Ultra Humanite, Kingdom Come Shazam. You had the General, you had Kilowog, Dr. Fate, Black Adam. Like, this was another just stacked DC set where no matter what you were pulling in a booster, you were probably pulling some really good stuff. What's this one? This is, oh, I see a Morlock at the top of it, so it's got to be old school. This is the Ultimate set, which was, again, based off of the Ultimates. It had Ultimates Thor in it. It had Ultimates Iron Man. I see a Hive Trooper. This is Collateral Damage. So, again, I'm not going to sit here and go through every single one. Holy cow, he even sent one of these, this guy. A Buy It by the Brick actual. This is what you would, this would be on the outside of a brick. So it's got that bad boy. It's Crypto. He was the Buy It by the Brick for, what am I looking at here? Collateral Damage. So that's a nice, that's a nifty little one to have in there. What's this one? This is Infinity Challenge. This is the first Marvel set right there. Would you like to join me? Can they see me? No, they can't see you. Because you have no pantalones on? Awesome. Jeez Louise. Let me turn you. I can actually turn your microphone on. All right, so I'm going to turn Ginger's microphone on. Hopefully, I think I figured out the issue with the echo. If it starts to echo, please tell me. Yeah, please tell me so I can at least kill the microphone and we'll figure it out. So, go ahead and talk.
Hi there. How's it going?
So, I think looking at my the audio feed, it looks like we're good.
What are we talking about?
I am going over the treasures. I have another Indie Clix checklist here, so I got 2 of those from Stan. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a good Patreon giveaway or something. Ooh. Right there. If, I don't know, we get more than...
I love to give away your stuff.
I know you love to give away my stuff. And then this is the last one. This is Hyper Time. So literally the first 2 sets from Heroclix, Infinity Challenge and Hyper Time in here. And then I think also he
Have
tossed...
you posted any of this?
No, I told him that I was going to put pictures up and all
we'll
that good
definitely
jazz
take
on
some
the
nice
site.
pictures.
Where can you dig through this and see if you can find a little tiny baggie of... There's 3 dice in there. Yes, I'm all set up here too. I've got my ham, because I cooked a ham yesterday for Mother's Day. And I got a seltzer. I've got just a whole... There we go. So, Stan said that they were misprints. He didn't like the way that they came out. The damn things look pretty amazing to me, so... No echo, awesome. We fixed it.
That just
Kenny Payne, you just told us no echo.
That attests to his
eye for detail. Absolutely. Yeah. So he's like, oh yeah, I don't like the way that they turned out. This is a Catwoman die, so I'm gonna use. Maybe I'll give away some of these bad boys too. But I like this. This is a Catwoman die. We'll see how
I'd
that.
like to see him too. I don't have.
Don't come on, focus, you son of a bitch.
Put your hand behind it like a beauty guru.
Like.
No.
You go ahead and do that then. You're showing the 3. Oh, but I see what it does. Okay. Yeah, because you're smart and I'm not. So.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I'm just covering the whole Catwoman. I'm an asshole. So, it is a... Oh, God, I'm all over the place. Nope, I ain't doing shit. Just showing off my tattoo work.
You gotta get closer.
Oh, there it is. Okay, fuck it.
Let me see it. I just want to see it.
So, that's Catwoman. The other one, I'm guessing this is... It looks like Kyle Rayner.
I would love to know.
Oh, yeah, it's got some nice lantern. This one you're not getting. No one's getting this one.
This is wicked cool. I love the marbling.
So
This is really... These are beautiful.
he does good work.
Does he do custom, like...
Oh, yeah. If you wanted to have something, there it goes. Kyle Rayner. And then you can see...
Tell me what these are called again.
Pips.
Yes, thank you.
So, and then the other one looks like it is a Transformer die. I'm not sure who the Transformer is, because I'm not a huge Transformer person.
Oh my god.
Yes,
They're
they're lanterns on the Pips, yes.
Come on.
So we'll let that
This
hopefully
is
focus.
above and beyond attention to detail, sir.
Hopefully that focuses. It's not.
These are great.
And I'm going to drop it. Shit, there it goes. Okay. No echo. I want delicious ham. It was. I made some
about 8 pounds
ballin' ass ham. That's awesome. Never knew that. Wish they'd bring them back. Yeah. Do you know if there was one for War of Light or did they stop? No. So for War of Light, what they did for War of Light in a lot of the storyline op kits, I still have the No Man's Land one, is they would put out a promotional figure, a promotional like poster that the store would get, and they would post it up. So for the Starro, I think it was 2007, the Battle for Starro, they had that, as people have been showing off, like the scroll. They had the Battle for Galactus scroll. They had the War of Light had one. Fear itself had like a world map where there were where all the hammers fell. So you had that. No Man's Land is an entire mock-up of Gotham and how it broke apart after the earthquake. I feel like I'm also missing a couple others. They had one for AVX. So they had been doing them for the summer op kit stuff. I don't know if they'll be doing any more of it, but I'm a sucker for when it comes to maps and when it comes to posters and memorabilia stuff, because way back in the day when we played, you really only had 3 maps. You had the junkyard, you had the prison map, you had the lab, you had 4. You had the junkyard, the prison, the lab, and then you had the really crappy Supernova map because they couldn't determine how they wanted to do the rules for it. So a lot of people just didn't play it. So you had those. And then when Origins came out, they had the checklist. I have this map as well, or I used to. It's gone. Never mind. You had the Origins checklist. It came in the actual case, and on the other side was the JSA Museum. And it is a beautiful map. I loved that map. And then right afterwards, Topps kind of basically just sold it out and was like, nah, see you later, we're done. And then that's where we were. So the Origins map didn't really get a lot of play. So that's where we were. So thank you to Stan. Go buy his dice.
They're beautiful.
He makes great dice.
Those are what he considers to not be
up to his standards.
Up to par, I can't even imagine, because honest to God, those are absolutely beautiful.
So we all know the crying meme, the Michael Jordan crying meme. Teammate of mine, Ted, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Jesuits.
He's a Jesuit.
Kenny, you can tell him I butchered his name. He always rolls really poorly. He commissioned Stan to make him custom dice. The ones are the crying Michael Jordan meme face, and then I think the pips are all teardrops. So these are some of...
Oh my God, that's the greatest.
And the Transformer on the die is Ratchet. So there we go. Thank you. I'm not a huge Transformer guy.
He looks like a Transformer in drag. I'm just saying.
So, he reached out to Stan, told him his idea. Stan said, yep, I can do it. Give me some time. Mocked it up. Did it. He got the dice in. The dice look great. They still roll like shit. That's on you, Ted. Sorry, bud. But that's just the way it is.
That's
ham.
Fantastic. That's
So,
Spectacular.
what else? Pronounced Jacek. Okay, so Ted Jacek. But it's Jasiczek, like Jezik.
Okay.
That's how I would have. Whatever. I messed it up, Ted. I'm sorry, Ted. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on. I said that I would talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It's a hot discussion. Some love it. Some hate it. Clixhole.com.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about your beard.
No. The beard looks fine. You just didn't like the mustachio being gone.
I'm just saying that's what I thought you were. I'm sorry. Clixhole. Dadcam.
I believe their motto. I'm talking about my mouth
Please
full.
do not do that.
Go ahead and talk, please.
I don't know what their motto is.
So their motto is something along the lines of what we say is true, like ... Not really. It's a satire page. It's 100% a satire page. They've been pumping out a lot of really funny stuff, in my opinion. And you have this line drawn in the sand.
Of people who don't
who completely love it, absolutely despise it. There is no middle ground.
Do they despise it because maybe they're being a little Karen and they don't like the fact that they might be getting made fun of even though their names aren't being used?
So that's the thing, though. Some people haven't even been mentioned.
I would assume not.
Just don't like the site. Because they're pumping out a lot of stuff. They're not using their real names.
They don't have to.
J. Jonah Jameson, Kat Grant, I think, is one of them. It's a DC reporter, I think. I'd have to look it up. Vicky Vale. Obviously, we know who Vicky Vale is.
Kim Basinger.
And we've had a couple, I think, I can't keep up on how many different people,
who cares?
fake reporters they have on their whatever it is.
I don't understand why that has
Big picture is, we have a lot of downtime. People are bored. We're bored.
Kidding.
They're bringing something. Their name. So they did name. We found out what libel means, because somebody in the community threatened that they would have a lawsuit thrown at them for misquoting them on a satire page.
Do people didn't know what libel was?
I think even the person who threw the term libel out there doesn't 100% know what it is. Because it's a satire page.
This is my surprise face. I realize you can't see it. But...
Yes, but you're also, your father is a lawyer.
Yes, but he's not an attorney that
but
deals
still
with that.
knows
However,
what libel is.
I feel like in this day and age, when politics run the world, you should know what the term libel means and how it plays out in our everyday life. Then again,
but also we have how many different shitty tabloids do we have out there that misquote and misrepresent the news all the time? This page literally says, hey, we're a satire page. We're going to poke fun and make jokes and have a good time. And
so
there have been a couple
saying that...
Go ahead.
I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt
you.
No,
I don't want to step on you.
Are people saying that they are taking direct quotes? Are people passing judgment on others on this site and then they're calling it libel?
What it basically is, so I don't want to name names and I don't want to take sides in the matter, because I can understand why somebody may be upset about something, but then blowing it out of proportion and threatening legal, and then God.
Should I explain what libel is?
No. We know what libel is, because there's been many definitions and links thrown around in a page, basically saying, like, I don't think there is a lawyer out there that would take on your case
unless it's
with
direct,
a satire.
Like Ben said this
was
Jen, and Ben was lying and made Jen look bad.
No, basically what it was it was a joke column about somebody, and X person was quoted saying this from his mother's basement. Didn't like the fact that he was said to have lived in his mother's basement, lives in Texas now, is from New England, claimed that, I'm from New England, we don't play around like that, you don't know me. It was a lot of...
his real name?
See, but that's the thing, though, is that the person who... I don't remember looking at it in time, and don't know if they used his real name, but the person also uses a fake name on Facebook.
Oh.
So if they
really
use the fake name, you really can't, if someone were to quote... So I was quoted in one of them, and they said Travis Edge. Well, one name is real, and one name is not. So they didn't really use my real name. And even if they quoted me saying Aries Edge isn't my real name. And secondly, I really don't give a shit if they did.
Your personality has nothing to do with
but
whether or not
on the
liable.
cover of the page it says this. Basically, it says this is a satire page.
I honestly,
It's
I'm
a
not going
slippery
to weigh
slope.
judgment because I don't know all of the
But again, it was just something that wasn't
information, but
it wasn't like X person talked smack about this person. It was like, oh, hey, X person said this, and then this and this and this, and it was like, rah! And then it was, you guys are a bunch of pansies. I'm paraphrasing because he used a little more heavy derogatory term for not using your real names and this and that, which was then pointed out you don't even use your real name on the internet.
That's something.
So it was a big to do. Jason Hershowitz says, I think some of them are funny, but they are putting out too many. Slow down. I can understand that. Again, they want to, if you're going to make a splash.
If they're a newer website or however they're doing this, I can see they will slow down. Right now they're trying to get
eating ham live. I'm just like an asshole.
Trying to get as much content out there as possible.
Yes.
That's done with a lot of stuff.
Flood the market. Saturate it. Get people on board.
A new YouTube channel does the same thing. A new Instagram's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, they're gonna create content and then put out 10 videos and be like, bah.
I think that they maybe need to figure out whether if they're going to use when I say real names, I'm talking about like you using Aries Edge as your real
They
name.
have going
but
forward.
They're not using their real Heroclix name. So
there's somebody in the community named Dustin Cedars. That's his real name, Dustin Cedars. In one of the columns, Justin Planters was commented as saying this. Great. So we know who they're talking about then, without using their real name now. And that's the thing. There have been a lot of people who have been quoted, and a lot of people have been like, "This is awesome. I love it. I think it's fun. It's not like smack talk. Like, I think that the Clixmen are POSs and they play like a bunch of jerk. It's basically it's what wrestlers would call ribbing, even though a lot of their ribbing was over the line.
But you need to remember, baby, that you're great at dishing out and you're great at taking jokes, but some people are not.
Yes. So.
And if you're going to create a website that is solely based on this, they also need to understand that some people are going to be blown away. Thank you guys for putting me on here. I laughed just as hard as the next guy, and some people are going to be real pissed off. It's just what I always say. You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in all of the orchard, and somebody's always going to hate peaches. You can be the funniest website on the whole planet, and somebody's going to think you're not funny. It's just how it's going to be. And they are either going to stand tough, and they're going to be like, okay, well, then you can't take a joke, and I'll take this one post down, and we won't be bothering you again. Or they can, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
But this is the thing, though, is so there is this person on Facebook now named Roy Moore. It's a fake. It's somebody who is hiding their identity, and they have been pushing the narrative of the Clixhole page. They apologized. We apologize. We didn't mean to offend you. We thought that because you have, in the past have been on board. This person was just on the Shots Fired podcast, which is an entire podcast based off of just doing that, taking shots at people and having fun. the person didn't like it for the fact that they don't. It's the fact that people
they can
are.
dish it out, but they can't take it.
It's the fact that people who are putting up stuff anonymously, and this person wants to desperately know who they are, so I guess they can have a confrontation behind closed doors, maybe.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
But and that takes away,
the
fun of it too, because half the fun of it, what people have been doing is like, all right, let's try and find the breadcrumbs and figure like who could this be.
It could be anybody.
And that's the best part about it, is it could be anybody.
But I don't think that granted, that would be fun to, chase the breadcrumbs, but I don't think that's the point. That should have no bearing on whether it's funny or not.
Exactly.
It's just funny. If you take offense to them using, your quote or whatever.
And they apologized.
And I guarantee you they probably took it down and were very sorry.
However, they did apologize and say we won't do it. They went and they amended the post.
Right. So get the hell over it. It wasn't, that's not libel. I mean,
no, not. But that's also the other thing. Like
that's not. It's not libel.
No.
Especially if you are using a fake name.
And Kenny Pena says could be Aries.
It very well
if it was me, I would use my real name. I would be yes, I'm writing. I have my own page, the Dishing Up Clix page. I would run satire articles.
But they may have come together and said, "Hey, we're going to do this together, and we're not going to reveal our names, and that's going to be part of the fun." And it's
exactly.
Great. That's not libel.
No, not one bit.
If it was,
and that was the
real
whole
name, and it was a derogatory remark that they were.
It wasn't like this person was quoted dropping this racial slur or this anti-Semitic slang or this sexist comment. It was.
And libel also has to do with creating documentation that is fictitious and then saying, "Hey, John Smith said this and did this." That's when you can sue for libel, when there's no backup to what, the evidence that you're producing.
Again, this was all discussed. It was just something I wanted to bring up.
The problem is
I'm done eating ham. I'm sorry, guys. This was my dinner. I'm eating my dinner while I'm talking with you guys and drinking a seltzer. I apologize.
You have a lot of competing personalities, and what comes into favor is the fact that this is a game. It's a competition. And that personality.
But it's also, we're in this weird place where we don't really have anything to do.
I know.
People are going stir crazy.
Away.
People are finding, literally, I'm trying to find different ways of creating content because right now I don't have anything to create.
Yeah, I think everybody is. I just don't think that this is going to be the first time that happens. And I think that the website needs to stick to their guns.
I got some notes here. Still, I had a whole list of notes here all right, so we can still come back to this. So if people wanted to still discuss this, by all means, bring it back up again. Let's go over it. I'm in the wrong damn conversation. All right, so what else do we have? We do have a timeline. We have a where did it go?
We're real prepared.
Just shout out. We lost a great one today. Jerry Stiller passed away.
I have no idea who that is.
Festivus.
For the rest of us, I still don't know who that is.
This guy right there? Yeah.
Baby, I don't have pants.
You have no pants or
I don't have my
contacts.
Contacts in, so I have no idea.
Yep, my bad. But yeah, we lost a funny guy today. Now it's time for the feats of strength.
Who is it?
Jerry Stiller. Ben Stiller's father.
Okay,
yeah.
So I knew who that is. I wonder if he passed away from COVID. I mean, obviously.
No, I don't think it was that. Why can't I find?
Because you're not
the one time I need to find. Clix Nexus is putting up content all the time.
I don't know what that is.
Congrats, Joe. I see it. You're putting up stuff. Go check out Clix Nexus. Good plug on this. That's great. So here we go. Release dates have been updated. So the new release dates for, I believe, and Kenny can correct me seeing as how he's here, the new release dates for the Cosmic Clash starter, which is the Fantastic Four starter, the JLU stuff, I'm guessing the Black Widow gravity feed, so is May 27th.
It's not too far away.
It's a couple weeks away. I believe Alliance is reopening the whatever the hell it's called there. It's a thing.
Shop?
It's a distribution center. There you go. Oh God, I'm having a stroke.
This is what happens. We don't have any brain cells left.
No, So yes, so Alliance is going to be firing back up May 27th. We're going to be getting new product finally out. I have been to Target now. I don't even know.
1,100 times.
February 32nd. Thank you. February 32nd. We're going to have that stuff out. I have been to Target. I literally just went to Target. And it looked like somebody literally ran by, punched all the Funko Pops on the shelves, and then hit it with a water balloon and left it. It looks like so the way things work. So if you're going to Target and you're looking for the Black Widow gravity feeds, don't ask a Target employee. They have no idea. It's an outside vendor that comes and fills that section. So for you to find those gravity feeds, go to the back of the store, go back by electronics. There is a section where NECA actually sells some of their action figures and things like that. But then also there are the Funko Pops and things like that. And the Black Widow gravity feed is back there. And it is actually basically a vendor comes and takes care of that whole entire section. Target has nothing to do with it. They can look up in their section. I think they can look up and be like, yeah, we have them, but I've got no idea what they are, where they are, when they're coming in, anything. And I've been to Target. I was just there today. And that whole...
still has yet to bring me home anything.
Aaron Lloyd has gone 0-3 at Targets today. I brought you home ice cream.
From Target?
No, it was Walmart.
There you go.
The line at Target is a hot mess, by the way. They have... I don't even want to talk about it. So, yeah. Executive producer Aaron Lloyd went 0-3 today at Targets.
I'm sorry.
I went 0-1 because I didn't go to Lisbon.
Yeah.
I went past it,
sure
wasn't
Jeremiah
stopping.
did,
No, Jeremiah is... No. He's like, nope. He'd have to wrap himself in a bubble to go out and walk around in that.
All right, people. It was lovely speaking with you. I got to go back to laying down.
Adios. So, we have that. We have Clixhole. I'm trying to think if there was something else. Oh, yep, there was. Let me pull it up in my grandmother just texted me with a story of my grandfather. I can only imagine. We also have, oh, sweet mother. There it is. We have the Heroes Throwdown coming up. I believe Julio told me that there are 52 competitors right now that are going to be in this. It looks a lot like, so here are the rules for it. Phase 1, all players have been placed into pods of 4. Care was taken as much as possible to avoid matchups of teammates or people who are basically in the same geographical area. There will be one person per pod assigned to verify builds. You'll have around a week to get all 3 Phase 1 games played. You need a third-party observer. At the end of Phase 1, the top 2 teams from each pod determined by wins first and then points. It looks like it's set up a lot like the Gongai Cup. Phase 2 is the single elimination tournament. Seeds 1 through 6 will have a first round bye, while seeds 7 through 26 play a wild card round. There's a bracket set up. You can click on that as well. I do believe Julio is going to be sending me a players list for this. I do not have that, but he did say that it went from being 48 players to being 52 players. So that's a pretty damn good turnout, and I think a lot of these, are only $5 to enter. So you have to figure $5 to enter. You're playing on Roll20. You're guaranteed to at least get 3 games. After that, if you place in the top 50% of your pod, you move on to single elimination. Oh, yeah. I don't even know. I'll have to read this later. I was going to read the story out loud, but then I saw Zipper, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to put my grandfather out there like that. I can only imagine what the story is. My grandfather does a lot of dumb stuff. I might do an entire special episode another time and put it out as bonus content about some of my grandfather's stuff. He is quite the character, I'll say it that way. So I think that is really all I had to cover. I mean, other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on in the world of Heroclix, unfortunately. Super excited to be getting some new product out here soon. 52 players. That's less than Gongai, but more than the Comic Cult Popper Classic. Yeah. Again, people are they want to play Heroclix. I got the privilege to play my brother. I think last week we were going to do it live, and we had some technical difficulties. I was still able to record it, but after looking through it, it was. Yes, my grandfather is behind Clixhole. No, my grandfather. All right, so I'll tell you a quick grandfather story. Okay, this is my grandfather. Has nothing to do with Heroclix, but I have a good audience here, and this might be something that I don't know will make people want to watch and come and hang out and ask questions. So, my grandfather is probably one of the smartest dumb people you'll ever know. Okay, he has a whole bunch of Evervites on the other side of his pool. So he waited for my grandmother to leave because he knew that if he tried to pull this off, that my grandmother would probably try to smother him in his sleep. So the story has changed multiple times over the years of it, and he can't seem to keep a straight story amongst it. The gist of it is he backed up a pickup truck to the Evervites because he could not reach the top to trim them. He then put a ladder in said Evervite, in said backup truck, leaned against the Evervites to trim them. So, let's break it down. My mother's father. It's actually my father's father. My father's father. So, pickup truck is backed into the yard, up to the Evervites. Ladder is in the bed of said pickup, leaned against the actual trees he's going to trim. Grandfather loses his balance doing so, falls off said ladder, hits the truck, does about 3 or 4 cartwheels in the air, lands in the yard, and then proceeds to lay there for about 20 minutes. Just trying to gain his wits and to make sure nothing is broken. So, you would think you would go to the hospital, get checked out, whatever the case is. No. Instead, he tries to hide it from my grandmother. So, I think he got 1 day hiding. I think my grandmother rolled over in bed and hit his leg to where the point he basically woke up and yelped and just about fell out of bed. And at that point in time, it was, okay, what the hell's going on? And then my grandfather had to explain the story, which has now changed 3-4 times over the years. And he was bruised from the top of his thigh all the way to the top of his knees. And it was the darkest purple you will ever see in your life. Needless to say, Grandpa was sleeping in his recliner for quite some time. 1, because he didn't want it to get a hit again. And 2, because Granny was pretty pissed off at him. Mind you, he has a saltwater pool And then the day we went swimming with him, it broke down the bruise because salt water is actually very good for that kind of stuff and for circulation and whatnot. And so, but that story has changed 3 or 4 dozen times now over the years, where he backed the truck up, and then he wasn't in the truck but fell onto the truck and then put it into the truck because it was more what it boils down to is my grandfather's an idiot. Same person who also waited for my grandmother to leave again. She said, I'm going down the street to Stop and Shop. I'll be back. And then I'm going to BJ's. He didn't hear the part of I'll be back and just thought she was going to Stop and Shop and then BJ's. And when she came pulling back around, back into the driveway, my dumbass grandfather was on the roof of his house trying to fix stuff and was like, oh, like he got his hand caught with his hand in the cookie jar, where my grandfather just kind of then tried to hide on the other side of the roof. And I told my grandmother, I'm like, if you wanted to be really mean, you could have knocked his ladder over and then he would have been stuck up there until you got back from BJ's. But she didn't do that. So that's where we are with that. So we'll do some more grandfather stories some other time. That's really about it. I mean, does anybody have any questions? Kenny, you got anything else? You want to break some news here from the old Wizkids front? Anything that maybe I miss? Did I misquote anybody? I don't want to have that come back to haunt me. That's really about it. That's what we got going on. We've got this big sort of like rift in the Heroclix universe when it comes down to this whole new Clixhole.com satire page and what side you're falling on. We have Roll20 tournaments popping off. We have a new date for stuff coming out from Alliance. Slowly we're getting back to normalcy, I think. But until we can actually get into a comic book store, there aren't 32 days in February. I'm well aware of that. There are 28, sometimes 29, because I was married in the 29th day. So, all right. With that being said, I thank you all. What's a shocker? That I was married. Oh, there's no 32 days in yeah. Big time shocker. So all right, that's it then. That's it for me. If you guys have any questions, you can always reach me at AriesEdge2626 at Gmail. Oh, breaking news. You can go ahead and reach me on Facebook Messenger. If you ever want, if you have suggestions for topics or anything like that, please reach out to me. And thank you for being here. I appreciate people showing up and having a conversation. That's it for me. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll probably, I don't know, I'll probably end up doing another dish talk soon. So take care. Have a good night.